Our Catholic faith is a sacramental faith. God himself has entered into history, into time, into materiality in the person of Jesus Christ. That's at the center of our faith. Really, nowhere is this more apparent than in Rome, this incarnational principle of the Catholic faith. That's why we come to Rome, and that's why I think it's so critical for the Catholic Studies students to be here, is so that they can really immerse themselves in this sacramentality of our Catholic faith.
We have to really reflect on the fact that Bernardi is not just a place, but it's a culture. It's a culture, and the culture is about ideas. It's about concretizing ideas. So you have a concrete experience of living the ideas that are part of the Catholic tradition. And the unique thing about the Bernardi campus and the culture that it's formed is that it's got a unified vision and a comprehensive, a very expansive vision, which is rooted in the Catholic faith.
Bernardi and the Catholic Studies students at Bernardi are really about a great work of pursuing this synthesis of faith and reason together as a community of disciples.
And that's what's so unique, because you can have 32 college kids living in a building anywhere in the world and not have the experience that our kids are going to have here.
One of the greatest paintings in the world, I think that's a safe statement, is Raphael's Stanza della Segnatura. He frescoed it 25 years old, so he's not that much older than the Catholic Studies students. And this young man came in and painted on one wall the illustration of faith, and on the other wall the illustration of reason. And the room actually can't function if one is missing. What makes the beauty, what makes the space, what unites the space is the dialogue that Raphael created between faith and reason. So the role of this education, this adding the Catholic Studies, adding the faith into the education, is what makes the space, the interior space of the student, beautiful and complete.
Catholic Studies is seeking to unite faith and reason. That is the best of our human capacities to know the truth, but then united to this supernatural faith, which is believing in the one whom I can't control, who is beyond my comprehension.
The Church has long spoken of faith and reason. It's always been about faith and reason, and when the Catholic Studies students and I stand in that room, we know that this room illustrates everything that we do, everything that we are, everything that we believe that faith and education and instruction and beauty should be all in one.
For the Catholic mind, that which is beautiful opens us up to something transcendent. And I think we always want to keep that in mind and realize that beauty and the experience of beauty is one of the means of opening the human heart up to God.
You think of just a few miles from here, we have St. Peter's Basilica, which is this big, massive church, and there's literally a set of bones at the heart of it, of a fisherman who lived 2,000 years ago by the name of Simon Peter.
There's nothing like looking up and seeing, this is the Mother Church. That, I'm looking at it on my roof, is the place where both Peter died. It's the heart, the beating heart of the church.
As soon as I walked in, it was just like I was overtook by the beauty of St. Peter's, and also like how welcomed I felt in that place. And I remember Dr. Lev said in her class that St. Peter's is meant to like instill that sense of awe, but also make you feel like you're a part of something, you're a part of the church. And I really felt that when I walked into St. Peter's for the first time.
In many ways, I think that's the brilliance of coming to Rome, is that we don't have to do much. We just kind of set you into this Catholic treasury where you discover the depths and the beauty and the wisdom of Christ's church, of the fullness of the truth.
The methodology behind it is to be able to describe and explain why that faith is there. And I had far more possibility to work on that level in Catholic studies than I would have anywhere else, because the students are well read, the students are interested, the students are sensitive to beauty, as we know from the beautiful liturgies they have back in the Bernardi campus. And there's a very sort of 360 sensitivity to beauty.
So the Catholic studies students are pursuing this synthesis of faith and reason, but they're doing it together, which is essential, which is a kind of sine qua non of, as I come to know the Lord, we do believe that God is a communion, we can almost say a community of persons that exists in an eternal interchange of love. If I want to come to know that reality, both through my reason and through faith, if I want to come to participate in that reality, I have to do that in the context of a community.
The challenge is to be men and women of communion in the world. That's what we need. That's the task before us. That's what culture serves. It serves communion. And so to get an experience of Catholic culture in its most intense form, and most, I think, unique and beautiful form in the Bernardi campus, is at a service, right? So the gift of this program is not just to adorn our egos, to put something on our curriculum vitae, but it's about a means to sanctifying the world and building communion.
Proverbs 27:17 is, as iron sharpens iron, so man sharpens man. And I've never really experienced anything like that before, but it's so palpable because it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you're forced to learn how to be more than just a friend. You're literally supposed to be a brother to these people.
A lot of these friendships, because they're forged in a rather intense time, they often last. I've known a number of people, particularly in the next several years as people get married and enter seminary or maybe into religious life, make profession, ordain, get married, have kids, this sort of thing. You see that a lot of the people that they invite to those things are Bernardi people, actually. And so like it's these sort of reunions all the time, which is a lovely thing. But it also says something, is that these are the people I want with me as I go and live the rest of my life.
I have really appreciated the one-on-one conversations and relationships I've made through community, because I think I had the expectation of just being best friends with everyone at Bernardi, and obviously I do feel very close to everyone, but I have really been blown away by the one-on-one friendships I've created with people.
We love friendship. We're made for friendship. We love it. We desire it. And I've seen it grow. I've seen people been surprised by the joys of community and the friendships. Not to say it doesn't have its struggles, but the joy of Christ is so much deeper. And to live with him, and to follow him, and to seek him, this is what sets the trajectory of our life so differently. And this is what sets our hearts on fire in a way that will allow us to do things that are far beyond our nature and our capacity in our lifetime.